All right, Unpacking the Baggage podcast, the podcast that deals with all things relationship. We're here. I thought we was going to be late, but we're actually early. What up, Britt?
What he do, y'all? I'm so happy to be back.
Man, you have had you want to pull your Facebook up back right here, right there so you can see it. You have had a troubling,
a
very hard weekend. We don't have to be as okay.
Good.
And I'll tell
good.
you, I know, I'll tell you, because I can hear you. That's why you don't have microphones. You can't hear it. Okay, cool. You have had a very troubling week. First of all, good evening. I already started Unpacking the Baggage podcast where we deal all things relationship. How y'all doing tonight? Y'all talk to us.
What's up, y'all? Please
we talk back.
To us.
Tell them that we want you to share. First of all, the first order of business, we want you to share. Okay, we want you to share
and like,
and talk to us. You know, this podcast is very interactive.
If you're not interacting, what are you here for?
We're gonna be unfriending you if you don't.
You know, I like to block people.
Yeah, you know, Britney will block people in a minute. You know, Britney will block you. So you better get on here. You better talk. But I need everybody to first order business. Share this to your page. All right, please do us that favor and share this to the page. We got a little late because last week you could not hear Heather's mic that was reading the comments. Now, Q is actually out of town. Q Kelly, normally the one that we have reading our comments, is actually out of town. But when she gets back, we got it figured out now. Like, we really do have it figured out where you can really hear everybody. It's just so happening we just don't have the let me make sure I'm on the right one.
Yeah, you can unplug that.
We just don't have let me go here. We just don't have her here. So anyway, there we go. That's what I want to see.
This one.
Make sure this is muted off.
It's a thing underneath it. Yeah.
Okay, there it is. All right, so now it's time to take care of the business. I know you guys are wondering why I'm here this week, right? I was not supposed to be here, right? You guys were supposed to be having Britney, and I got fired for the podcast for 1 week.
Yes.
You were supposed to have Britney here.
I did not want him here.
And she was supposed to be talking to Shanetta. Why don't you go ahead and fill them on why I'm here this week, Britney? That's your deal. I'll let you talk about it.
So for the people who don't know, my son has sickle cell. He has the worst case of sickle cell. I used to talk about it a lot on my lives and on my Facebook all the time, but then I stopped doing it because you can't really do that when, you know, you got people who don't like you. So we have been in the hospital.
Shout out to Nate, man. Shout out to Nate. Please, shout out to Nate.
We've been in the hospital for a full week, and he's still battling. So I had to put the show on, postpone the show, because I wasn't ready. I didn't have enough time to prepare myself, so we had to cut it off. But Nate is home. He's still sick. He's not out of the woodwork, still running a fever off and on. So we're home with it right now.
So all these questions and all y'all was just waiting on her to come on and tell my business and all that. It's still gonna happen. My business is still gonna be told.
He sure is, because he got to get in the hot seat now.
My business is still gonna be told next week.
It's the motherfucking turn, yes.
It's my turn to unpack my baggage, I guess.
No, it's not his turn to unpack his baggage.
What
He's
is
been
it, my
doing
turn?
it.
Okay.
It's her turn to unpack
hers.
baggage.
Okay. All right. So that powerful interview is coming next week. So I'm looking forward to it.
Me too. Because you don't tell
me
much.
I'm BSing.
I'm looking forward to it because you don't never tell me much. So I'm trying to see something.
All right, but today you still got us. You still got me. So I'm not fired just yet. Next week I'll be fired. But we've got a very action-packed podcast for you guys tonight. I'm actually glad Britney is here. I was worried about you, Britt. I called and checked on you. Like, did I call every day? I think I came to the hospital.
Yeah, you came to the hospital. You called me every day.
I was worried about you.
He loved me. Y'all.
No, for real. I was worried about you. I know that you and Nate was going through it. I was really worried about you. And I could always tell what type of mood you're in when I talk to you, like the first 30 seconds. I can always tell.
I was trying to keep myself in a upward spirit. I'm still
You did
not,
good.
Yeah.
You did good.
Well, thank you.
Do you want to shout out any doctors? Shout out anybody that helped Nate?
I just want to shout out everybody. I want to shout out my mama, my daddy, his mama, you, everybody from Facebook that was sending us well wishes, my cousins, my aunties, my uncles. It was a lot of support. We still have support. So and shout out to the doctors for sure because they had me nervous, but they got it done. So yes, I just thankful to God too.
Now we still want you to be interactive. We're going to try to read our comments, and we still have the text line, not the text line, but the actual line where you can call in and give your comments live. 501-9620. Brittany has pinned it in our comments, 501-650-9726. Now let's pay some bills this week. This week, we got two big sponsors that are sponsoring our podcast. Big shout out to all these people that's sponsoring. The first sponsor is the March Madness Final Four that's going Friday, March 22nd. It's going down at Fusion Lounge. All right, we've got live music. If you want a grown event, if you don't want to party with the kids, this is the event to attend. All right, we got live music from Keith Savage, Deshaun Harris, Haywood King, and BJ Soul. Again, Infusion Lounge, 8 p.m. is the doors opening, and the live music is going to start around 9 o'clock. We got DJ Worm on the ones and twos. If you want tickets, right, go to Eventbrite. Get your tickets now. Do not wait. This event might sell out and you might not be able to pay at the door. But go to March Madness, 4.eventbrite.com. Again, March Madness. Y'all know how to spell March Madness. 4.eventbrite.com, or your table reservations, or you can call and take Cash App. Call 501-900-4833. Again, 501-900-4833. And this event is put on by Ratliff Media Promotion Group. Okay? All right. Now, our second sponsor, which is our presenting sponsor. Here's it is. Here it is. This is the guy that cut the check for us. All right. All right. If you have a wreck
and you want a check, call Jeremy Bland at 501-912-0050.
Yes.
If you had a wreck,
yes,
and you want a check, call Jeremy Bland at 501-912-0050.
Yep. Okay. So listen, personal injury lawyers, I tell you all the time, it's about serving our community. This attorney has put his money into our community and sponsoring our podcast. I don't know any of them other lawyers, any of them other lawyers that does personal injury, Brad Hendricks. I don't know none of them people. Them people don't know me. When I call them people, they don't even answer my phone call. So we want to support. If you have a wreck and you want to check, you got to call
Jeremy Bland, baby.
And he is putting his money where his mouth is. So listen, he looked like us. He got issues like us. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Support our own before we go out and support others, all right?
He's pinned in the comments, you guys. He's pinned in the comments. So use that number.
His number, 501, I guess. Did you put that number in there?
912-0050. And we're going to toast to that because that is our biggest paying sponsor. We're going to toast to that.
He cut the check.
He cut the check, baby.
The big check.
Yeah.
The check.
The check.
You know, black people, we say things twice. The check.
And we stutter on it when it means something.
So y'all make sure y'all go by and spend some money with Jeremy because we want to keep our podcast on. The man is paying the bills.
Y'all need to start sponsoring us. I'm telling y'all.
Yes, we got two more spots. Q. We start off every podcast. I see Q. Shout out to Q Note. Back there, podcast producer. Y'all, listen, if y'all like your podcast produced, y'all get with Q Note. Q got us where everything's sounding good, looking good. Quincy Watson on Facebook. All right, Quincy Watson on Facebook. We got to shout him out too.
Okay, and one more thing. These are double shots, so you just take half because we're going to take a near one.
Okay. Damn, Q.
Yeah.
Woo! Woo!
God damn. Check out him.
Ooh. You know, okay. All right, we got some 5 topics today. Have we paid all our bills, Britt?
No.
Okay, we haven't. Go ahead.
Because, first of all, we got to talk about sponsorships. I wanted to let you guys know what sponsorship was because we had a lot of questions in our inbox. What is sponsorship? How can I be a sponsor? Mm-hmm. So we need to let people know that sponsoring is not only just
monetary.
Paying for something. You can sponsor us by liking, commenting, sharing, putting the word out that Unpacking the Baggage is growing and we're trying to get more followers. That is a sponsor. We appreciate it all. Again, if you have any boutiques, if you have any type of, I don't know, what else? Food trucks, shoe vendors, lashes. What else? Hoodies. We don't know. Like if you have a place that you maybe want us to film in, we had somebody reach out to us about that. We also,
What is the name? What's his name? Shout him out. The live location we're gonna go. Okay, Brandon.
Oh, what you talking? Don't do that to me.
I'm sorry. I put you on the spot.
You did.
I'm sorry.
You did.
Okay, go
Pretty
ahead.
much. Okay, so yeah.
She said, "Don't do that to me." Oh boy, write it down.
God dang. Okay,
ahead.
so anyway, yeah. So we have people that's inboxing us about what else is the other one? The tags or the whatever.
Don't do that to me.
Logos.
Don't do that to me.
You
No,
right.
I'm just playing. I'm just
You
playing. What'd you say? What'd you say?
The
What'd you say?
logos and stuff. Like if you have logos that
I
you want to talk
forgot.
to us about, we're like I said, we've been in the hospital a whole week, but we had a lot of people reach out to us. And then also a huge thing, we are going to be accepting people onto the show who wants to do something like what we're doing.
Yes.
Which is
Unpacking your bag.
it is, but it's also a source of sponsoring. You're sponsoring the show basically by coming onto the show and unpacking y'all baggage. So if you're interested in coming on the show, email us at unpackingthebagagepodcastlr@gmail.com. We will get back to you. Make sure that story is something that's going to, we want to hear. So that's the end of the sponsorship.
Yes. Okay. All right. So we got to get into meat and potatoes of our podcast. Our first topic tonight. Shout out to Tam McElroy. She and I were talking strategies as we always do.
We're at 52 viewers, Tam.
And
So far.
I got my phone here, but I'm going to paraphrase what our topic is because I wrote it all down. But because I'm going live on TikTok, what's up, TikTok followers? I don't have my phone, but I'm going to paraphrase this topic, okay? We were saying a lot of times your sexual comfortabilities through generations have gotten more and more and more. Back in the old days, and I say the old days, years ago, if you were young and you were and somebody started a rumor on a girl at school that you gave fellatio, then that was like the worst rumor
So embarrassing.
to have. Like even for the guys back in the old days when I was young, I'm like, bro, I ain't doing none of that. I ain't giving no, or I ain't doing none of that. I don't do
That's
that.
nasty.
I don't do that.
Oh, and if she did it or he did it, that we thought they had germs. Like
Yes.
that's some nasty.
If you back in the day was accused of giving fellatio, then you was just this low bottom, slut puppy that people talked about in school. Nowadays, women lead out with it. Like they're cool. That's what they say. When you meet a woman, they say, I don't want to sleep with. I just want to give you some. What? Like how and why is that acceptable? And how and why is that okay?
There's some
through the
pick-me.
different generations.
Pick me.
No,
That's why.
through the generational, it has become, society has made that become okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not even shameful anymore. Like you was talking about another part of the generation when it comes to just being gay and all of that. That's big different now. Like guys used to not be cool with their sexuality being that they're gay.
And listen, they out there like, I don't give a fuck. Like, hey, how y'all doing? Yeah. So they are very much so comfortable with their lifestyles, and it ain't nothing wrong with it. I appreciate the men who are comfortable in their skin because, like we talked about the down low men before. I would rather you be out there with your sexuality than to not. But it is very much so bold now. People are bold with it now.
I want to shout out just a couple. I'm not going to read any comment, but shout out to Tam, the people that are on our Facebook page.
We're at 1 million.
Yeah, Tamla. Oh, yes. What did you say?
So she asked, how many viewers do you have? And I said 52 at the time. And she said, no, just last week it was 71,000. Baby, we up to 1.2 million viewers.
Thank y'all. I want to say, listen, thank y'all for viewing this podcast. Now, that number is a loaded number, right? If you come by and you view it one time and you do it again, it counts you twice. But that 71,000 is really new subscribers. The million is we've got 1 million views for this podcast. That means that we're talking about very prevalent issues that are going on. You get what you see. Mm-hmm. We don't cut corners. We're very transparent. We give you the raw, edgy, uncut. And obviously you guys are loving it. So thank you for tuning in to us every Sunday evening at 7 o'clock because you could be doing something else. You could be watching your Revised Church Sunday sermon. Mm-hmm. But instead of listening to your pastor, you are listening to us.
Unpacking the baggage.
Yes. All right. Shout out to Tam McElroy. Shout out to, what's that, Gabriella Williams?
Gabriella.
Who is that? Lashana?
Hey, Gabriella.
Lashana Stevens. Crystal Phillips is there. Who else is there? I want to just shout y'all out real quick. If you're there, Kayla Hendricks. Veronica Jones, that's my auntie. She's on there. All right. If you guys are on there, please give us a shout out, a thumbs up so we can shout you out. And please comment, okay?
Yep.
All right. First topic. As I said, why are people, as generations go on, why are people so cool with their sexual preference being open? They are nothing embarrassed these people no more. If I meet a girl and I'm going out with her and she don't do that, she out of there.
But I feel like my thing is, you got a lot of realists like me.
Okay.
What the hell do I need to be embarrassed about? I mean, if I like what I like,
So
I like what I like.
So, but Brittany, how old are you too? How old are you?
36.
So you wasn't really part of that generation that I'm talking
I remember
about.
people
So back in the day when you were young, when the girls at the school, when they were rumored to be given fellatio, were they embarrassed?
Yeah, underneath the bleachers and stuff, they was very much so embarrassed. Yes.
And so right now, it's not embarrassing anymore. Why is it not embarrassing to the young women that are coming up now?
Because I feel like social media
What up, Sandy?
has put it out there. People putting it all on social media. It's like a norm. Back then, we didn't have social media like that.
Right.
In order to get on Facebook, you had to be invited. It was a college. It was like a college, I don't know, platform. So in order to get on, you had to get invited.
Yeah.
So this was not what it was back in the day. Now you can drop a Twitter sex video in the comments and watch it on Twitter, and they doing all this. You know what I mean? So it's like normal. You see all type of different stuff. And I think it made people explore more than what, you know what I mean? It's like, shit, everybody doing it.
Does that also lend to why, and we talk about this all the time, why older men like younger women? Is that so? Because I was talking to Tam and I was saying, Tam, nowadays older guys do not want to date women their age, right? A guy that's older, a guy that's over 50, he don't want no 50-year-old woman, right? He want that young girl. He want that girl that's down for everything. He wants that girl that's gone.
I think that's a catch-22 though with it, because
What do you mean by that?
I feel like from hanging with a lot of older women, they've been doing that stuff back in the day. They just were more discreet with it. They were classy with it. They done it. You know the song, be a freak in the sheets, but you know what I'm saying?
Right.
A cook
Lady
in
in
the
the
kitchen.
street, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was just more discreet. I think the thing is they want the look. And they know that a lot of young women don't have the money or the means to be as independent. So they don't go after an older woman who's more independent, who don't need them, and basically who can say, forget you.
So you think, are you trying to say, and real quick, I need you guys, when y'all share this video, to drop in a comment that you guys have shared it, so I can see on my screen everybody who shared our video. Share it, please, and put shared in our comment deal, okay? So what you're saying is that when you say they want somebody they can control, is that what you said? The guys?
I really do. Because I've been there, and I've never dated like an older man, but just a man per se. I just feel like if you don't come in the relationship with much of nothing, and they have
Crystal.
everything, it's more easier to persuade you to listen. So I feel like women, young and older, do the same things.
And so you're saying that. Thank you, Chancellor. You're saying that it's not. You're saying that it's a control thing from the guy. You're not saying that they are just more interested in the younger woman. Because I'm going to say, okay, so I'll let you say that, right? Mm-hmm. That you're saying that it's a control thing, which is kind of a jig at us, right?
You kind of said that. I really said that I guess you can say it's a control thing, but it's more of a means of being needed, because they know that this woman does not have the means to provide for herself. She don't have money. If she's younger, she probably don't have a car. He probably have more money. He can buy her a car. So a younger woman is going to be like, this like my daddy, kind of, he take care of me. Why would I go against him if he taking care of me? But a woman like myself or someone older, most times got it. And you're gonna hear something else. Like, I don't need you.
So that's your opinion. That's one point of view. The other point of view is that the younger woman could provide more sexual need that the older woman don't want to do. Have you thought about that? The younger woman is probably a little bit open to with her sexuality. She'll try more things. I ain't doing that. She
broke.
you better get up and do this your own damn
She ain't
self.
got no money.
That's what you saying, Brittany. It could be. It ain't got to be what you saying. It's a control thing. It could be that these old women are just stuck in their ways. They don't want to try new shit.
A lot of older men can't even get up and stay up as long as a younger man. Like a younger man can do it 2 and 3 times in one night. An older man,
there's pills for that.
All I'm saying is, don't try to make it seem like this old man is just really pushing this girl back in. Like, nah.
What I'm saying is, you gave one opinion.
I know,
I'm
but
giving
you bring
another.
it just to sex though.
Well, what is it about?
I'm telling you what it's about.
You brought it to the money.
You basically said
you brought
control,
it to the money,
but
right?
it's basically about control. Being able to control somebody that don't have it. Like
that's your opinion.
Okay,
of
so
it,
let's say that the girl do have it. Let's say
what,
that she has it.
What do you mean she has it? She has money?
She got money. She got everything that he got.
Okay.
Then it's gonna probably go to a point of where, well, since you are doing it this way, you may be giving me sex. But now it's gonna be another issue about something that she doing, which will probably be she ain't cooking enough. It's gonna always be a complaint.
Not really.
Oh,
why do you feel like guys cannot be satisfied? It always has to be something.
Because most guys are narcissistic.
Well, why do you
and
say
manipulative.
that? Because that's not true either. How do you say the blanket thing that you think most guys are narcissists?
Because most men that I've dealt with do that. So
Hey, baby, there it is.
Whatever.
There it is.
Most men I've dealt with are narcissists, and even the ones that maybe I've talked to can seem like they're a little narcissistic. You know what I mean? Because the thing is, y'all never satisfied. Like you can say, well, this younger girl, she's giving me Felicia. She doing this. Yeah, whatever. She doing this all the time. She doing this, she doing that. But at the end of the day, if she doing all of that, then it's going to be like, well, she's, you know what I mean? She not cooking like she's supposed to. When I come in the house, she ain't got my food on the table. Like it, y'all complain about everything. Just like y'all complain about it.
And so you're coming from a space that women don't complain.
I know we complain, but
damn right you do.
Yeah, but y'all always complain about sex because that's what you said, basically about sex. If a younger woman do the sex, then the older woman probably ain't doing it. Why y'all think the older men go to the younger women? Because they broke.
So real quick, shout out to the people that have shared it. I think Crystal did. Yo-Yo, Yolanda McDaniel shared it. I think Chancellor shared it. I promise I'm coming back to it. Who else shared it? Lashana Stevens, shout out to you, shared it. Sandy Mitchell, hey Sandy, she shared it. All right, you want to read their comments now?
I'll read.
Okay, go ahead. Because Q be talking about be messing up. I ain't trying to argue with Q.
Let me see. Can I use
Yes.
Okay, you guys. Keep talking to him. Hold on.
Okay.
I hate your keyboard.
You got your iPad over there? Your iPad?
Is it
hey Q, can you handle the iPad? Oh, there it is. Ooh. There it is. You got your iPad.
Hold on, y'all. Let us keep talking now.
Yeah. So, I mean, she's coming from a standpoint that, it's a control thing, which I have heard that. I'm not going to lie, and say that it's not a control thing. I think that it's a double reason. Like, guys like these younger girls, because they open to doing what we need them to do. Y'all old women y'all don't want to do this, and y'all want to just lay missionary. Y'all don't want to just flip.
Lay missionary.
I'm just saying, like, it's just like the older women just they set in their ways. They don't want to do all that. Y'all ain't open to threesomes. Y'all don't want to do this. Y'all can't do that. Hey, man, you ain't got to argue with these young women. You ain't got to argue with them.
What?
You don't have to argue with them. Hey, this is what I want. Let's get to the business. We ain't got to argue. We ain't got to get your value. We ain't got to argue with them. So, the older you get, you better be trying to get with
Yolanda
somebody.
Flanoy says, guys ain't never satisfied. Tamala McElroy said, B Level older women are more sexually experienced and satisfying. Trust that.
So, wait. Satisfying to who, Tam?
To y'all.
No, it's Tam. You better come on now.
Okay. So what do you consider young? Let's say that. What is young to you? What age?
It really depends on that person. So if you 40, if you date somebody that's 25, 15 years younger, that's young. I think when you get past 10 years, younger than your age, you're dating somebody that's younger.
So basically it's anybody that, whatever age you are, if you're dating 10 years down, that's young.
Yes. If you're older than 10 years, you kind of dating young. Because but in a decade, you could experience some of the same sexual preferences. So if you're within the same decade, I don't really consider you a dating
Sonia
young.
Anderson said, I'm 34 and an older man told me what Brian is saying. He dates younger because of sex. And that's what I said.
Come on,
Sonia.
Sonia.
Because of sex.
Come on, Sonia.
Nathaniel Baker said, if that's the type of men you attract or get involved with, what does that say about you, Brittany?
Uh-oh.
Nathaniel Baker also said, oh, where's the status reader? Marcellus Town Winston said, what kind of relationship is this? Pre-K? Because I'm not understanding. I did just come in. Well, hold on, Marcella. Let us catch up.
Marcella, I'll read the question again here after she finished doing the comments.
Yolanda Flanor says, why do you think sugar daddies exist? LOL, I always want to run shit. Crystal Phillips said, oh, she just laughing. What's up, Shannon? I see you came in. Sandy said, my older cousin said young women will do anything in the bedroom. Older women will not.
That's your younger cousin? Who said that?
Sandy Mitchell.
Sandy, that's the truth. Sandy, that's true.
That's
true.
not true. Well, am I considered young at 36?
Well, it depends on who you dating. If somebody's 46, you young.
Well, I guess so.
If you 36 and they 42, that's not young. That's not young.
Kenna Lewis says, what is older women to you? That's what I just asked, because I feel like it don't mean that it's 10 years down depending on whatever age you are. It has to be between the ages of 20 and 28. That's what I consider young.
So you're saying the age, not the difference. That's
it
what you're
have
saying,
to be,
right?
because
I'm cool with that. I mean, I guess that's cool.
Okay, so Miss Jazzy said, it's some older women that is serious about good sex. It is some older women that is serious about good sex. Tell me what you mean, Jazzy.
I think she's saying there are some older women that will do anything like the younger girls. That's what I read this comment to say. Clarify that, Miss Jazzy.
I'm going to tell you what my doctor told me. So Yolanda said, you better get someone your age that knows a sign of a heart attack.
Who said that?
Yolanda.
Yolanda's funny. She is funny. She's one of our regulars, though. She's funny.
Oh, man, pee in the bed and got worms.
What the hell?
Yeah, she said what she said. And I'm going to say this. My doctor told me, because when I was younger, I didn't have a high sex drive after I had my kids and stuff. And I had to go to the doctor because I'm like, what's wrong with me? Because who I was dating, well, you know, who I was with, my kid's father, he had a very high sex drive and I couldn't keep up. So I went to the doctor and I asked, like, what is happening here? And he said, younger women, whenever having children and stuff like that, they lose their sex drive. And then when they get older, they gain it.
Really?
So, yes. So that's what I was told. So I don't know if they're doing things because that's actually what they're feeling, or they doing it because they're trying to keep that man. But as I've gotten older and the stresses on myself is like null and void. Mm-hmm. Oh, baby, listen.
Well, let me read the question. What we talking about, somebody asked us to read the question. If you're just coming on, we're talking about the more generations go, the more open to you are with sexual desires. Like the older women back in the older days, if they were accused of giving fellatio, they would just be shamed to death. Nowadays, women lead out with the fact that they do that. They're, you know, as generations get older, people are way more open to sexual desires, fantasies, and all of those things. And we were just talking about, why is that? We were talking about why.
And you also said that older men prefer to date younger women.
That's a scientific fact. That is a scientific fact.
Now, where your facts at? Don't do that.
You mean look it up?
You gonna have to.
I will
you
look
can't
it
say
up.
no scientific fact.
That is a scientific fact. Let me Google.
He said that
go ahead.
older men date younger women because younger women are more susceptible to having sex. Good sex, sloppy sex, long sex, all the time sex. That's what he said. He said us older women. I'm gonna put me in the older women category.
You an older
He
woman?
said we ain't really trying to do what the younger women doing.
I'm just saying collective. Like, I'm not saying that that's
Collective.
every older woman, right?
I know,
If you old,
we know you ain't talking about every
he knocking
woman.
the frames off the
He's saying we can't keep up.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, but you know, it makes him okay. All right, so I Googled, why do older men like younger women? It says men often are attracted, this is through Google, men are often attracted to younger women because it makes them feel young and powerful.
Thank you, baby.
Societal
That's
pressures may influence men's attraction to younger women too.
Uh-huh.
The patriarchal and ancestral traditions both encourage age gap relationships. Okay, no. So it's saying they encourage that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's because like I just tried to tell you in the beginning, us older women who are more seasoned, we not building up your confidence because you should already have it. So you're gonna go to a younger woman who's going to help build that up, and who broke, who basically don't know life yet. She has not learned all the ropes yet. She's still figuring it out. And guess what? When that woman get just a tad bit older, because she gonna age faster than what she probably would have if she wasn't dealing with an older man. And she gonna leave that nigga so quick and move on to another one. And now he just helped her be a better woman for the next man, because she not gonna want to keep getting used like this.
I need someone to call and give their comment
Give us
live.
a call, y'all.
501-650-9726. If you agree or disagree with my theory that older men like younger women, just because that thing is a little bit, I ain't gonna say better. I ain't gonna say better. I'm not gonna say better.
It ain't
Listen,
thinging
there's been some old women
age.
there's been some Krugers out there that can knock your socks off. You hear me?
They gonna knock your socks off because they're very much so seasoned, and they gonna feed you afterwards.
But them young girls, oh my God, them young girls.
But they can't clean in their ears. They don't know how to brush their teeth good.
Now,
and they in their pocketbooks, they always got that earwax taste to it. So,
I got the pocketbook.
Yeah.
You ain't got to have the pocketbook. Just have that thing in check. Yeah, just have that thing in check.
So look, let's say this. The Yolanda Flanoy said, well, if the money right, the bills paid, and we ain't got no problems, take them clothes off. Christina Sanders said, women hit their sexual peak in their mid-30s. Exactly.
I agree with that, y'all. I'm just playing. I agree with that.
So why are you trying to get me all worked up?
I do agree that if you Google women, their sex drive and their sexual peak is older. So I agree with that. That don't mean we want you when you're older. That just means your sex drive.
Yeah,
okay.
we talked about that too. Okay. So then
I got a call.
We got a
Hold on a second. Let me see.
What's up, Toya Holly? Toya Holly.
Unpacking the Baggage podcast.
Hey,
You're
sis.
on live with Britney and B Level.
Let's talk about it.
B Level.
What it do?
It's Kentrell.
I knew it.
Kentrell, what it do?
What
Hey,
it
listen,
do,
I know
baby?
you gonna say it straight.
What
I know you gonna say it straight. So I cleared the lines just so you could call, homie. What you got to
Kentrell,
say?
You better keep it
She
real.
skipped over my comment on purpose.
Well, you
Nah.
tell your comment then. Tell it, homie.
Look here. I think I agree with what you're saying. I think older men pursue younger women intentionally sometimes because they're oftentimes more agreeable, more manageable. They have less trauma, less interactions. They're easier to work with, whether that's sexually, in a relationship or anything. That is some guys that's what they're looking for. Women that are not particularly scorned yet. And all around, she's going to be a more well-rounded person, some people think, because she hasn't been through so much yet. And you're going to benefit from that sexually, socially, just in any way, you know?
That's 100% true. Did you hear what he said? So, the older women got way more trauma than the younger. And so when you have that, when you're dealing with a woman with trauma in itself, you have to go through so much more relationship wise.
But that can also be a catch-22, because listen to this, Ken. Okay, so we do have a lot of trauma being that we're older women, but by the time we become seasoned, we know how to deal with those things. We probably know how to talk to men because we done been in enough relationships to know where we done fucked up, right?
Right.
So the younger girls, they're starting out doing what we were doing when we were young. Oh, FUBA nigga. You know what I'm saying? They talking crazy to you. I ain't doing shit. You did this, you did that. I want this, I want that. So now you starting all the way over with who we used to be in our, you know what I'm saying, younger ages.
Years.
So at the end of the day, you better get with a seasoned woman. Lead them, because them other women at that age, your hair gonna start falling out. You're not gonna be able to keep up, because now you are going to the hospital to see what's going on with this heart, because now your heart racing fast. You know what I'm saying? You got diabetes. You know what I'm saying? You about to die soon. And I mean, you need to.
Did she say you about to die soon?
You need to stay.
Oh boy.
You need to stay with us seasoned women, because I'm telling you, we're gonna take care of you. We gonna tuck you in after you get done. We're gonna give you baths. We're gonna rub you down with that A&D ointment, whatever you need. We're gonna put that mint lotion on you. We're gonna take care of you. Them young girls don't know what they doing. Stop playing with me.
All right, Crenshaw, thank you for calling in your comment, bro.
Hey.
Yes.
Before you go, just tell her, I respect her perspective on all of it. But at some point, you have to listen to a man say what they feel about it. If B Level say that's what it is, he been living in a man's body for a long time. Sometimes you got to just hear a man's point of view.
I hear
why
it.
they do the things they do.
I hear it. But that don't mean I can't speak on it, but I hear it.
Appreciate you, Crunchell.
Okay, so look, we got some more comments. So we got Tamala McElroy. Hold on, wait. Sonia Anderson said, I think that's true too, Brittany. Tamala McElroy said, B level, an older woman sexually hold on, say that word.
Tamala Arrow. I'm gonna go to a comment.
I hate that word.
Tam, quit using them big ass words.
Don't play with me. Don't do that.
Libido.
Okay, it increases they get older and they are more creative. A real OG can make you get to the promised land without even touching you, big baby.
Go ahead,
I'm for
Tam.
real though.
I
Like
see it, Tam.
that made my body in the inside get a little hot for real. Okay, so Miss Jazzy Johnson said, Brittany Arnold, you are funny. I don't even be trying to be funny. I'm sorry.
Call back, Alicia. Call back.
Yeah, call back. Marcella said, men don't have the maturity to understand great sex because they are too self-absorbed and like to dominate where they may be lacking. You know what I'm saying? Because they always slacking. I put it in myself. My bad. So James said, hello.
What up, JB?
Yolanda Flanor says, so B.
So B wrong for dumbing y'all ass when you can't perform, and you're going to get Lil Pee Wee. I don't understand that.
So B, go fix that for me, Yolanda. Okay, Yolanda Flanor said, them young women make them old men pay, and us older women do too. Deborah D.D. Pete said, feed them and F them, LOL.
Oh,
baby,
boy.
that's what I'm saying. We're going to feed you. Nah, we gonna
Come on with it, Deborah.
We gonna
Come on
F
with
you,
it, Deborah.
and then we gonna feed you.
Come on, Deborah.
And then we gonna be like, baby, you need some water.
Come on, Deborah.
And guess
Come
what?
on
The
with
water
the feed
already
me.
over there ready for you. You
Come
didn't even
on.
have to say that.
Come
Okay.
on.
Miss Jazzy said the HIV rate is larger in younger women than older. Google it. Yes, because they popping it off any way y'all want.
I agree with that.
Hey, Q. Alicia said, I'm a woman, but I agree with
Q,
B
bring
level.
your ass to work next week. I know you out of town, but come to work next week.
Leisha King said, I'm a woman, but I agree with B level on this one. Call in, Leisha,
Thank you,
so
Leisha.
I can hear that.
Hey, Leisha, I'm just telling the truth. That's all. I'm just telling
ain't
the
talking
truth.
about nothing. Leisha,
These
you a
young
traitor,
women
bro.
got it going
Leisha,
on.
you a traitor, bro.
They got it going on for
Leisha
real.
a traitor,
For
man.
real. Now let me ask you this. Dude, let me ask you this. It's known that that older guys like younger women. Is it known that older women like younger guys?
See, it is known because I have a lot of friends that do like younger guys, and I be like, why? And they be like, because
What's the reason behind that? Is it sexual too? So it's sexual too?
They say the thing.
Yeah, sexual.
Yeah, but I'm like,
Y'all comment.
That's a little
Do
weird for me.
older women like older guys, or is it different?
do.
I've met a lot of women that like older guys because of the maturity.
And we not
younger
talking about-
guys are taking them down through there.
we're not
So-
talking about thing as far as how long they can go. We talking about they saying that it's bigger than the older men.
And I think men think of a lot of things from a sexual point because women just date differently. They look for stuff differently. So I'm not sure if a woman, majority women, older women like younger guys. Tap in, ladies. Do older women like to date younger guys?
Yeah, I want to know. I don't.
Because I think they like how older guys take care of them and is a man's man. I've heard the women that they don't like some of these shenanigans that the younger dudes are playing on them. So they like them more mature.
I would feel so horrible to
get with an older guy.
no, a younger guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know.
So you're 35, Britt?
36.
So how low will you go, young wise? Age? What's the
lowest I've
Yes.
ever went is 2 years under
Really?
me. That's
So
it.
if they 30, they too young for you?
It just feels so awkward. See, that's the thing. I know y'all say, well, y'all don't be wanting to listen to a man, but I actually do. So I can't go too young because I would never be able to listen to somebody younger than me.
Q Kelly saying I'm in my 30s, but nope, I like mine older. I ain't raising nobody's trifling ass son. So the majority of women like older guys, more so than younger guys. Is that what we're saying as a whole?
Do young. No, that's
Okay.
just ugh.
Okay. Have we talked about that enough?
Yes.
Okay. So let's go on to the next topic, which I think there's layers to this next discussion that we're going to get into, and it's talking about blending families. The first part of it is oftentimes when you're blending families, the family, they don't blend just easy. It's not an easy blend. For an example, if you have children that are your biological kids that does not live with you and you're dating or you marry someone that have children, why do your biological children always feel like the stepkids get more of your time, more of your financial investments? They get more benefit of the father. Oftentimes they always feel it's unfair that your biological children that you've had with other women that may be living in other homes, you're dating somebody with kids and you're staying with them. Y'all live together. Why do the biological kids feel like the in-house kids get more than them? Well, tell me why that is. Can you guys chime in and talk about that part of it? Why is that so? Brittany, have you dated? Oh, yeah, you have. So did your ex-husband or did your soon-to-be ex-husband kids feel like your children got more of a preference from him than them? Did they feel that way?
Look, I ain't trying to get ate up on live, but I'm finna be real because I couldn't wait for this. Y'all ain't even know that you was bringing this up.
You did not.
I'm finna dive in. You hear me? So everybody.
She's about to dive in.
Yeah. Okay, so let me say this, y'all, because a lot of y'all watched the show that Lamar was on, and then, I couldn't really say much because I was so damn shocked. But that never came up about the blended family part.
Can I do this real quick before you dive in on him real quick?
I ain't finna dive in on him. I'm finna dive in on this.
Okay,
topic.
can I
Go
say
ahead.
this real quick? Hey, one more time because we got to do this 3 times. Hey, listen, if you have a wreck
and you want to check,
call
Jeremy Bland at 501-951-0050.
It's not 951.
Oh, 912-0050. Let's do it again.
If you have a wreck
and you want to check, call Jeremy Bland at 501-912-0050.
Yes, he's our big presenting sponsor, so he gets 3 mentions. So, hey, listen, if you have a wreck, y'all need some money. This man has collected more than millions of dollars for people that look like you and I. Call Jeremy Bland. Y'all got the number, all right?
And it's pinned in the comments.
Yes, and then we're going to talk about the big event on our next drop with Ratliff Media Promotions. Okay. So let's talk about the fact that you were going to dive in about.
Yeah. So I'm glad that we're on this topic because I'm going to say for me, when I was with my ex-husband, the L word, when I was with him, I dived in right off the bat. I was picking up kids, his children,
okay.
His children, because their mother lived in Florida.
Okay.
Shout out to my girl.
Baby mama, right?
The baby mama. Okay. So me and her have always had a good relationship. We still have a good relationship. I still talk to his kids because I feel like if you're going to be in a relationship with somebody, especially marry somebody, then you should love them kids like they're your own. When I was in my marriage, I used to send groceries out of my money, not his money, my money, because he wasn't on child support.
Okay.
He mentioned the fact, why would she be asking why I'm sending my baby mama some money? I ain't never asked you why you send your baby mama no money, because I'm sending them money.
Right.
And that can be, we can always pull up receipts on that. But I cashed out money. I sent groceries. I sent snacks for the week. I talked to the kids. I would call and say, hey, I'm not gonna call the name, but I would say, hey, kid, or hey, it was 2 in Florida. What y'all want as far as toys go? Because we didn't see them. Yeah, just because we didn't see them like the whole year. So they would say, I want this, I want that. Well, it's on the doorstep when you get home, baby. You know what I'm saying? What y'all want for snacks this week? It's on the doorstep when you get home. I was that type of parent. So when it comes to blending families, if I'm gonna be in a blended family, I'm doing for that child, or those kids. I'm not the type of woman to not.
And let's be frank. Typically, it's the guy, right? Normally the women they don't not have their children. It's typically the guys that are, have biological children that are not staying in the home, but they're dating a woman that has a child, and the biological kids always feel left out. And I got Crystal on here saying it's up to the guy's fault to make sure that, and that's a whole job, Crystal. I do agree with that. You have to make your biological kids feel loved, but I think
you have to make them feel
it's
not
naturally
left out.
That they don't. Like, it's just natural. I feel like I'm a good father. Right? I really do feel like that one of the things that I'm good in is just being a dad, and I think my kids felt like, the children in the house got more of my time. They got more of my efforts. They got more of my financial needs. They just felt that way. And I really tried to be just, obviously you can't be in 2 places at one time. I think people looked at the fact that, I was always at Randy's games and all of those things that
I think it's a team effort, because kids will feel that way. But if you got the stepmom and the biological father both doing things for these kids, those kids can't help but say, well, they were there for me. You know what I mean? Because I think it's a team effort. Because if you're doing more for that part, for the woman that you're with, children, and you're not doing it for your kids, I think it have to be a balance, because they wouldn't feel no way if they're all getting the same treatment. So if you spending more time with them at the house because that's where you live with the stepmom, then I feel like you should make time outside the household to make sure that those your biological kids are getting the same.
But that's a balancing act. All right, take for instance, my
Yeah.
2 kids live in Texas. It's not geographically a time, that I could spend just as much time with the children that are in the home than kids that may be even, let's say they are in town, but mine was out of town. But even that, I think it's impossible to split the time to be the 50-50, right? Because you normally are in the home with
I don't
children.
think, I
how
have to
can you
disagree.
possibly spend, when you take sleep time out, you can't say, okay, I spent 3 hours and 45 minutes with these kids in the house. I need to go outside and go take my biological
No,
kids.
you're going too literal into that.
Yeah, I'm just
comment,
saying,
to that
how could
statement.
you, because you made the statement, you got to split the time equally.
do.
I don't know that that's possible to
Well,
split
if
the time.
they live in Texas, I can't really say that, but that's why I say what I did in Florida. I can say that.
Okay.
When my stepchildren lived in Florida, I made sure that if I'm buying groceries for my household, I'm sending something to those kids too. I'm sending toys to the house. Because sometimes we forget that just because we in this household, even the kids, like you saying in Texas, you still can send stuff. You don't have to be there. But if you sending something to their doorstep, they know that this came from their daddy or their mama. So it's like, well,
And I get that. I guess I'm saying I think it gets difficult to split it, to a point where, your kids that are not in the home are going to feel like you're spending just as much time and as
gotta be
much
creative.
effort in. I guess so. I agree with that.
You got to be creative.
I agree with that. I can
because
accept that.
I feel like it's no excuses when it comes to your kids. And I'm one of the ones who grew up, like I said, with my father. My I don't want to say the stepfather word because that's my daddy. Like he said, he adopted me at 1. But my biological father, he made me feel like that. I still talk to his stepkids. Those are my step siblings. And the way that he treated me outside of the fact of, or the way that he treated me versus how he treated my stepbrother and sister, horrible. He done walked past me before, you know what I mean? And
Your
then
real
say,
dad.
Yes. He done walked past me before with my kid, which is his biological grandkid, and he's holding his grandkid hand and walking past me and him, not even acknowledging me.
So I don't know that this is the conversation or the stake in the road where we talk about that, but I hear you saying, but a lot of times, Brittany, there are reasons that your dad is not on the show and can't, there may be reasons. I oftentimes feel like sometimes these women are so freaking toxic that it's drama.
kids?
No, the mamas are so freaking toxic that sometimes it gets to a point where I just don't want to deal with the kids.
Nah,
and
we
I
talking
know
about
that's
an
not
adult.
right.
Well, we're talking about as an adult.
Okay, you
he
as an
walked
adult. Okay,
past me
okay.
as an adult.
Because
So-
I think we have to dive into all layers of this Brit.
No, this is after we didn't try to mend the relationship and talk and everything. He's walked past me on 2 different occasions. 1, when I was throwing a birthday party for one of my kids. And then 2, when I was taking my child into a daycare that his stepdaughter's child went to the same daycare. He's walked past me twice. His wife had to come and mend that, like right in the moment. Like, you don't walk past her, y'all need to talk, So if it wasn't for her, he wouldn't even came back and said, hey, I apologize for walking past you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is it have to be a balance, because I'll never forget that. I know that's like going toward a whole nother topic, but I'm saying
Right.
that still has something to do with treating your stepkids better than your biological
Yeah, and I guess
kid.
that conversation is, why did you not have that relationship growing up? And I guess this is going into another sector, but why didn't you have that relationship with him growing up to where he felt like he didn't need to acknowledge his own biological grandchildren and you? There was something that happened that led up to this passing.
You got to understand, when I became an adult, I accepted him back in my life.
Okay.
So he had been cutting my kids' hair, you know what I mean? Because he's a barber. He had been cutting my kids' hair. We were trying to build a relationship. So it don't matter about none of that. because he was grown, I was grown, and I accepted him back in my life.
So you're saying you tried to mend that relationship when you got older, and he could no longer live from a space of when he was younger because you was an adult at that point.
Yes, we were both adults. I had children. He met his grandchildren. He used to cut their hair. He was very much so trying to be involved, and he chose to be that way because basically he said that I wouldn't reach out and call him. He felt like I should try. It was your
responsibility, not his.
It was my responsibility to keep an open relationship with him, and I feel like at the end of the day, I'm still a kid. You have a lot of lost time to make up, and so do I, so it need to be a balance with us making up, you know what I mean, a relationship. I'm not going to call you all the time because really I don't know you, and to me, you're a strange man. But anyway, like I'm saying, I just feel like whenever getting into these situations with biological kids and step kids, it need to be a balance.
Okay, I'm gonna read some of the comments and you catch up because I'm not gonna read them all. I'm gonna start while you get. Shalina McDaniel is saying it's the adult's fault. Destiny Lynn is saying I feel like it's a lack of communication between the biological parents and the kids. If that makes sense, are you caught up? Go ahead with Crystal.
No, I'm not caught up.
You're not. Are Crystal saying because?
Oh, yes, I am. Okay, Crystal Phillips said because the in-house kids are getting more. That's the daddy fault. Correct. Destiny Lynn said also the parents have to take the kids more into consideration when they have their differences. Crystal Phillips laughing at me when I said the L word. Marcella said one of the biggest issues with blending is if someone would allow another person to come into their life and mistreat their kids. If you love me, then it's a given you love them. Sheena McDaniel said yes, it's the father most didn't do right before they married in the new wife. Mm-hmm. Christina Sanders said, I don't even use the term step. It's our.
Good job, Christina.
Destiny Lynn said, I would say, though, my dad made sure I had all my needs, especially for school, and so did my stepmom. There is still a void, though, just because we are human and have feelings. I get that, too. Sonia Anderson said, find other ways to make the kids who are away feel special. I said that, too. Have to be creative.
Yep.
Destiny Lynn said, a phone call a couple of times a week goes a long way. A check-in, anything.
Got it.
Sonia Anderson said it could be a surprise visit here and there, edible arrangements, early morning phone calls before school or work. Kentrell Shepard said because they aren't waking up with you in the same house daily, it's a void they feel. So your kids have to suffer long term because you don't want to deal with the mom. That's why I said the communication between the parent and the kid has to be better. Okay,
so Destiny, I agree with that, but that's in a perfect world. Sometimes, and we talking about all parts of it, sometimes you just get tired of that, all that drama and all of that. And so sometimes you have to take a stance that, hey, I'm going to leave it all alone. That's probably the right way to take it. It's probably not the right way, but that does happen. But before we go any further, I want to shout out Brittany. I don't think you knew this. My daughter, Taylor Smith, she had her baby yesterday. So I am...
shout out to you, Taylor.
Yes, she had a baby girl. Her name is Tegan Latoya Stewart. And she was 7 pounds, 11 ounces. I cannot wait to hold this little bundle of joy. She's in Texas, so I wasn't able to be there. But shout out to that. I'm a grandpa the second time. All right, shout out to Tegan.
Pow getting
Don't call me Pow. We got to figure out.
Pow
I need some young. Don't call me no Pow. I got to get a young name. Pow sounds so old.
But that is what it is.
All right, okay. Second layer of this blending families. Do you let, ladies, if you have a guy that's involved with you, that are dating you, that are married to you, do you let them discipline your children?
Please, come on, ladies.
Or should I say, when do you do that?
Yeah. Did it block you?
It blocked me?
I don't know. Did it?
Bro, please don't tell me I'm blocked on TikTok.
It shouldn't have.
All right, okay. I don't know. I'm gonna take it down.
Off?
Go ahead. When do you let, or if you let your boyfriend or your husband discipline, and it doesn't have to be a whooping, right? It does not have to be that a whooping. It could be punishment. Do you let your boyfriend or your husband punish your children? It could be a whooping, but do you let them do that?
I want to know what you guys gonna say, ladies. What are y'all gonna say?
Ladies, what's up? Do you let that happen?
Yeah, what's really good? So I'm seeing comments on this side of things, but I'm not seeing comments over here. But you remember I was telling you I can't see the comments on my side. That's why Ken was like that I had ignored his comment, but I can't see everything. It looks like Nathaniel been coming, haven't he? Or?
Yes. So do you let that happen? Do you let the boyfriend or the husband discipline your children? That's the other thing. Thank you, Valencia. I see it. Congratulations to Taylor. Thank you. Crystal, yes, Taylor had a baby yesterday. Do you let your boyfriend or your husband discipline your children? If they're not his biological children, how far do you let him go on the discipline? Brittany, do you want to answer that? I guess you didn't let your ex discipline your children?
See, we missing comments. Look,
okay.
Let me say this, y'all. I'm reading off of my page over here, and then I see comments on Brian's actual page. It says right here, the mom, something about
you gotta get
something about the mom not being toxic or something like that. That was from, who is it? Right here, Shuttler or Tamala, something like
Tamika.
that. Tamika, I can't see from over there.
Shantae, Tamika Shantae.
Yeah, and then Destiny Lynn commented too.
So why don't you want to read, but you don't know you don't want to control this one. This is right here. Okay, you can't control that one?
Where is it?
What about that thing there that your sister had last? Okay.
What are you touching?
Go down here.
Right here.
Yeah, like that. Just, yeah,
okay.
There you go. So you could read those comments.
Okay, let me get it.
You got it?
Okay, y'all, hold on, because I want to, let me see. Because I don't want to make y'all think I'm missing y'all comments on purpose, because that's not cool. So Destiny Lynn says, so your kids have to suffer long term because you didn't want to deal with the mom. Okay.
Yeah.
That's why I said the communication between the parent and kids
happens.
has to be better. Tamika Shantae says, not the mom. So toxic, you don't want to deal with the kids. That's awful to say.
That happens. That happens.
Okay, then we have Christina Sanders. When you're that guy, you can do it, but you can't be lacking and then trying to discipline. I most definitely got to see how you parent your own.
Who is that?
That's Christina Sanders.
Okay, Christina, I hear you.
And then Q Kelly says, I definitely want to know because my boys are 4 and 7. I haven't let them around anyone outside of their fathers. Okay.
So is that? Did you miss some comments up there? So, ladies, I want somebody on here that's cool with. I guess a lot of people are saying they kind of got to trust, which that goes in hand with being comfortable with letting your mate discipline your child. But I want somebody to comment who is
be quiet.
Who is
sorry, y'all.
Yeah, who is comfortable with letting their significant other discipline their children, whether it be it doesn't have to be physical discipline.
I'm going to give my honest opinion. I'm going to try to keep it I'm going to try to make y'all understand it as much as I can because it may sound misconstruing. It may sound like I'm being misconstrued. Okay, so to a certain extent, I will let anyone discipline my kid. So that means the teacher, if they're at school, and when I say discipline, that means get on to them. Tell them if they're doing wrong.
Right.
Go sit your ass down. You know, stuff like that. That is with anybody. So I feel like if I'm dating someone, I can't tell them that they have to respect a stranger and not respect who I'm dating or who we're living with at the moment. So with that being said, I will give who I'm dating a little leeway. You know what I mean? You can
especially boys. You got 2 boys.
Yeah.
So if, they often say, obviously your children have their biological father, so they don't really need no help in raising. But sometimes, Brittany, the biological fathers are not in the home and not dealing with the kids for whatever reason.
Well, if they're not in the home, they can't discipline it all. Like I said, they can do what I allow them to do with strangers. If a stranger say, "Hey, sit your tail down,"
no, I'm
saying
do that. I'm saying their biological father doesn't have a relationship right.
Oh, okay.
And boys, it takes it's a bonus to have great men in most young boys' life, right? If their biological father is not involved in their life, do you let that void be filled by a stepfather?
I don't know.
If their real dad is not dealing with them.
That takes me back to a place of the type of men I'm choosing. I've never been put in a situation where I needed somebody to raise my kids
because your dad
has always been there, so I can't.
Which I met him
that.
too. He's an awesome dude.
Yeah, I can't answer that. But what I can say is that in my situation, if I'm dating someone and my kids are out of line and me and this new person live together, he has every right to discipline my child, not physically, but he can yell at my kid. He can get onto my kid.
Put him on punishment?
Yeah. Until I get there and me and him have a talk, me and the kids have a talk and we figure it out. But say, for instance, I'm not around and he has to take, measures into his own hand. I'm okay with him doing what he think he needs to do for the moment, not physically now.
Yeah.
But when I get home, we all, we need to talk about this. What happened? We'll go from there to see what happened. And if I agree with that, we're gonna agree on it. And if I don't, then me and him will have to sit down and talk about that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna make my child ever feel that they have, I guess, like the upper hand over who I'm dealing with as far as respect goes. So it's not something I'm gonna be like, no, you don't tell my kid, this, that, and the other in front of my kid. I've never been like that.
So
ever.
answer this from this perspective. As you say, because I'm going back to the question that I asked you about just having young boys, right? Young boys need their ass whooped growing up. Like, these young boys that didn't get no butt whoopings, they robbing and killing and doing all that. They wasn't disciplined at home. So a lot of times it takes a man to be in their life. And if their biological fathers are not in their home, do you let a guy that you're dating, that you trust, that you love, to discipline, corporal punishment, to whoop their butt, things that they need to grow up and be productive young men? Because I got my butt whooped. I'd have been able to run all over my mama. I had a stepfather that took care of me, that taught me life lessons. Why can't that stepfather discipline them corporally? Why can't they beat they butt?
I think it depends on the kid. Now, like I said, I don't have experience in that, but I think it depends on the kid, because I've had experience with my friends' kids who may have been in that situation, but the kid, like you saying, bad is, they're horrible.
Right.
So I feel like in that situation, if the streets got your child, let them in. But if you have a respectful child and you know that you got it, I don't think that you should allow anybody to come in and just overdo shit, because I think you need to base it off of how your child is. Now, if they're a horrible child, they in and out of what's that school called?
Alternative school.
Alternative school, and they're in and out of juvenile. You need to let somebody whoop his ass.
Okay, come on with Yolanda. Start right there, Yolanda McDaniel.
No one can touch my children except for myself and their biological father. However, if you are paying bills, feeding them, and providing a roof over their head, you can punish them. No whipping involved.
Okay.
Sonia Anderson said, because it takes a village to raise kids, so I agree.
Okay.
Marcella said, as long as it's not abuse, but ain't no kid gonna be in my household and I can't give correction.
Okay, is that Marcella? Is that a guy or girl?
Marcella's a girl.
A girl. Okay, go ahead. I'm gonna come back to that, Marcella.
Sonia Anderson said, my son doesn't, Sonia Anderson said, my son doesn't have a relationship with his father, so if I was married, my husband will be able to discipline my child if he's the one who is raising him, teaching him how to be a man, and loving him correctly. Absolutely. Kentrell Shepard said, that's touchy.
Kentrell, that's touchy. Hey, Kentrell, I really need you to call back, because, I've had some conversations with you and you pretty logical. It's touchy, but in society, there's so many young boys that didn't get their ass whooped. So many single mothers that were raising these kids that didn't get a good ass whooping. A good ass whooping can steer these kids right. These kids are growing up and doing all types of shit because they didn't get a good ass whooping. And sometimes a good ass whooping needs to come from a man, not a female.
That's why I said it can be you. I can sound like I'm misconstruing myself, because, like I said, if your child is in and out of juvenile and they really do need help,
Kentrell, call me.
I feel like that should be a given. But if you have a respectful child and they doing what kids do, all kids don't need whoopings. My children don't. Yeah, my children don't need whoopings. Like, I can get on to them, I can yell at them, and they're gonna be scared.
They're good kids.
They're good. They're not bad. We don't have issues. Now, they may do stupid stuff like what we did growing up.
Right.
Running down the highway, doing something dumb.
And your kids are with their father, majority of the time, more probably half of the time that they're here.
It's a balance.
So that's a whole nother different conversation.
That's what I said.
I'm not speaking from that point. I'm speaking from
when
the kids that
bad.
their biological fathers, like this woman said here. This lady said their biological father is not there. So she needs someone to step in and show him some tough love, and she will sacrifice. She's involved. She knows that this dude ain't whooping their butt for dumb reasons, you got to be involved too. Now, I'm not saying let them have all access, but if you're there, you know it takes.
But you got to be careful too, B Level, because then you got to think about whenever these women think they know that man. And mind you, I've been around kids who may be, you know what I'm saying, slobbing at the mouth. I don't want their kids to touch me, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm not going to be mean about it. Like, oh, you know, I might wipe it up. But in my head, I'm like, ugh. But if it's my kid, and this, I'm just giving you an analogy right quick.
I get it.
If it's my kid, I go ahead and wipe their face with my hand. I don't need no napkin. So you have to understand that these men sometimes, and we've seen it on the news a lot, they'll come in and act like they're really there for you and they care for you just as much as they care for your kid. And when you leave, they beating them. They ending up dead, you know, and a lot of these women are like, I would have never saw him doing nothing like that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
They're not whooping them while they're there. They're doing it when they're gone, and they're overdoing it. So you have to be careful.
I get it.
Who you allowing, because they never gonna love your kids like you do.
I get that. Start with Q and
Q says, my uncle and my brothers discipline my boys. I think that's good. Tamala McElroy says, why is it okay for a stepmother or father to adhere to everything that it takes to raise a child, be it financially, protection in the home, etc., but not be allowed to discipline, even if it's physical?
That's what I'm on, Tam. If I'm feeding you and I'm paying, and see, here's me. I'm not gonna be abusing any. And first of all, you got to get to know that man. So I agree with you. You know that you need to know who you're dating. But I am with Tam. You want me to do everything. You want me to help him. You want me to teach him to play football. You want me to do all this other crap.
Agree.
But that's off limits. So you can't have it one way and not have it all.
And I've had situations like when I dated one of my exes, he had a child, and the child was very, anyway, it was hard to get through to this child. And it wasn't that it was the child, it was the father that was making the child think that every time somebody get onto you, call me and I got, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now we into it, and I'm pissed off at the child because it's like, why you steady calling your daddy every time to me and you, every time I get onto you? Now he's saying something to me as if I'm mistreating you when I buy you everything you need. That child mom wasn't in that child's life, so hadn't been in the child's life since the child was like 3. So when we were together, I was mom. I bought the school clothes for school years and shoes and fed the child, and you know what I mean? When I went to the store, that child went to the store, I done the child hair. So like Tam was saying, I'm doing everything that a mother would do, but when it come to me getting onto that child, it was a problem. So like I said, it's I'm gonna sound like I'm being I'm misconstruing myself, but it's just different situations for different children. It just depends on the children. But if you got a parent who is enabling the kid when they're wrong, that's just a catch-22. It just it's no good.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that being a big deal. I just come from a space of the majority of the time, and you can't have one blanket situation be good for all situations, because it's a case-by-case basis, what I'm hearing you saying.
Yes. Ken Ray says, if they are in my house and if the mom and me have been together for a year or 2, I'm tapping their butt if they are out of line.
Tap that ass, Ken.
Tap that ass. Tap that ass. Kentrell said, a bunch of men get this misunderstood. If I'm on my kids' life, let me touch them. If not, I'm probably touching him. Okay.
Oh boy. Okay.
Christina Sanders says, it's difficult because at the end of the day, the child has another parent, and is the other parent okay with it?
All right. We got somebody on the request line. Unpacking the Baggage podcast. Give me your name and your comment.
This Q.
What
Hey,
up,
Q?
Hey, y'all.
Why you not at work, Q?
Listen, you in my business. Don't do that.
Don't do
I'll be
that.
there next week.
Okay.
I'll be there next week. I love y'all.
Okay.
Love you too.
This is my thing. The reason why I said about my baby boy, because his father and me have joint custody. He's an active father, 100%. We already had the conversation when, if we were to break up, will we let our significant others discipline the child? Because he gets him a week, I get him a week. And we had already made it clear that I wasn't gonna allow another man to chastise our son physically. He has to obey the man's rule if I was to have a man or whatever. But as far as spanking him, he's there for that. He
said that he needs to be the one to do it because he is an active father. He doesn't want another man putting his hands on his son.
Okay. And I guess
I felt like that was fair.
Yeah, and I guess we were coming from a standpoint of the fathers that are not in. But let's talk about that. So let me ask you this. I've got you on live. So you expect when something to happen, you to pick up the phone and say, come over here and whoop your son ass when he do something, when he be disrespectful. If your son, and I'm not saying that your son would be disrespectful, but let's say your son said something disrespectful to the father. So you expect to pick up the phone at that time that he did something that deserves him to get a butt whooping from a man and say, come over to my house. It's 9:30 at night. Come whoop your son.
That comes with parenting for me. Like I said, my son, he is the 4-year-old, but I have a 7-year-old too. My oldest son now, when we lived together, he never disciplined my son physically. But then again, my son was a good kid. My older son didn't deserve a whooping. You could just look at him or get onto him and he'll stop. But my little one, he is more hard-headed. No, I don't think it would be beneficial to call him and be like, hey, come do this to our son. He's acting up. But in the same breath, I wouldn't, it's the way you raise your children. I don't raise my son to be a disrespectful child to where he would do something to make that man want to put his hands on him. But I do get that situations happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's a hard one. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for your comment. That person that called Q.
Yeah.
All right.
Call him back. Just call
okay.
back.
All right. You want me to call him back? Are we calling people back?
Yeah, because
go ahead. Go
that's
ahead.
the comment. But I want to say this. I feel like another thing too is if we're not married, I'm gonna say maybe they shouldn't discipline your kids if you guys aren't married, because the next person that come on now, that child is feeling like, damn, every person mama get with, every person daddy get with, they get to discipline me. Like, and who are they?
Too.
You know what I'm saying?
Too.
Now, if you're married and this is somebody that you gonna be with, and they know that this is your husband or your wife, that's different. But I don't think everybody should be able to whoop your kid. They don't want to be around these folks.
They have not earned. Okay, let's go back live to the phone line. Unpacking the Baggage podcast. Who's this?
Kentrell.
All right, Kentrell, I asked you to call back because you were one of the fathers, and again, you come from a space, you have your kids, right? So a lot of this discussion is really not the situation that you're in. However, you're saying that if the kids are at their mother's house, you do not agree with another father, another man who might be helping them, who might be married to their mother, who might be providing, who you've met, who you trust. You believe that this person is not going to do anything harmful to your child. You're saying that's still a no. That's still off limits.
Well, I just think the physical part is what I have a problem with. If you want to redirect them, anything like that, I'm fine with all that. But when you touch a child, that's a touchy area for most people.
Yeah.
I think if a man is in his children's life, you allow him the privilege to deal with his children.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And if he's absent, then somebody's got to do it. The boyfriend, the husband, the uncle, the brother. You know what I mean? But if he's physically present, I think he should handle the physical part. But absolutely, if he lives with another man, he needs to listen to what that man says around the house and get redirected or anything verbal or, punishment, all of that type of stuff. That's all a green light.
I got it, Kentrell. Thank you for calling back, man.
Okay.
Now you got some comments you need to catch up with.
So we have. Okay, so look, we got Tamla McElroy. She said, B, you and Britt know my situation. I have been having my daughter since has been 11 years old.
11 months.
11 months old. She said, and I have knocked her ass between the stove and the refrigerator. She said, the blessing is all parties agreed. So I think that's the key, co-parenting. And that's what I'm saying. They've been together. You guys were married and everything. So they couldn't help but trust you because they knew that her heart was in a good place. But when you don't know, baby, you're not touching my child.
Right.
Because I hate to have to touch you.
Right. I get it.
And I'm going to jail behind mine.
And I think it's, you don't give up those authorities early. Right?
No.
You learn this guy before you turn the ability over to do that.
You don't know because like I said, you will get to a point where, well, we ain't gonna say we're gonna get to a point because we're gonna always, make sure that we're looking at signs and whatever. But like I said, you see people on the news all the time. Like, I didn't think that he would do that, and now their babies are gone. Like, don't be that person at all.
That's because you gave up too much authority too soon.
I guess.
Okay.
I guess so.
All right. You ready for the next topic?
What's up?
You have something, or you want me to go with this one right here?
Hold on. Before we go here, I want everybody to like and share the live. We want you guys to like and share the live. All right, what's the next one?
Okay, so when do you know when it's time to let go in a relationship? When do you
when a
know?
motherfucker get on live talking about some hell yeah, I fucked on my wedding day. Hell yeah, it's time to let go of that shit. That's, hey, I ain't hey,
When
it's time
do
to
you
let
know
go.
if you're in a relationship and it's time? Because oftentimes, Britt, we
Shit.
you
I'm
don't.
so sorry.
Oftentimes we quit before the magic happens. We're so, to not go through, and even with, okay, as it relates to marriages, right? You meet these older people who have been married 50 and 60 years is because they didn't give up, right? They went through it. They survived infidelity. They survived financial heartbreak. They survive emotional stress. So are we giving up too soon in these relationships now? You can't nothing happen without you. I'm done. I'm breaking up.
And I'm gonna say this, B Level. I'm probably gonna step back from this one because this is what I never want to give up as far as like it goes for me. I'm the type who gonna go through a lot.
Through the depths.
I don't care. If I'm with whoever I'm with, I don't care. I'm going through it. So I really don't know when enough is enough because it's really like they literally almost have to take my life before I'll be like, bitch, you're stupid.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, and are we giving up? Especially, we're going to talk about marriages. That's a whole nother covenant with you and God, right?
Yes.
But relationships. So those are two different answers, right? If you're married, you took a covenant for God that for better, for worse. And a lot of times it get worse.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Why are we
learning.
giving up? Why are we giving up so soon on your husband, on your wife? You're not able to get to those 50-year anniversary. You're not able to celebrate those things.
I know, like, when I talk to my friends, a lot of them, like, when I tell them, like, what I'm going through, and they're like, girl, I wouldn't dare put up with nothing like that.
And them bitches be the one that, for real, because I said to them, they just be, here's what I would suggest to that. I think you should not be talking to your single girlfriend about marital issues because they just don't understand the commitment unless they've been married. Now, some have been married and understand the commitment and the vows you take.
Yeah.
But on just a regular, I think that you should not be talking about marital issues to single friends. They're not going to understand it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I will say that's never been a influence of my decision that I make, but I will say I know a lot of other women will say they're not dealing with infidelity. That's one thing they're not dealing with.
Well, hell, they might as well not. They might not even married, not get in a relationship because infidelity happens. And I need to look up the percentage. But I guarantee you, if you look up the percentage of infidelity, that's going and they gonna stay there. They just saying that right now. But most of the time, infidelity issues creep its way in most relationships. So to say they ain't gonna deal with it, are they just gonna quit everybody that cheat on them?
I'm gonna say this. You have some women who aren't like me or other women. They don't go snooping. So they never know that they being cheated on anyway. They'll never know.
Yeah, and I get that.
So they feel like they ain't never been cheated on.
So to those women that say infidelity is a deal breaker, are you just not gonna have nobody? Because everybody, like y'all saying, infidelity is going to find its way in most, the majority relationships.
Quit trying to make it seem like, well, I ain't never been cheated on, because you're scared to look. Versus somebody like me who like, I'm finna see, which I don't want, you know what I'm saying?
And they probably lying. Most everybody has been cheated
went through
on.
It and ain't said nothing.
Who on this podcast has not ever been cheated on?
Well, that's what some people say a deal breaker. I'm saying I know some people say that's a deal breaker for them.
I would say consistent cheating would be a reason to leave, right?
Well, you got some people who say one and done, they out.
That's not logical. That's not very logical because infidelity, I would say, and I don't know the percentage, but I'm going to say that infidelity happens in probably 80% of relationships.
Well, I'm going to tell you what I would think, like, for me, a deal breaker is, like, it may be petty. A deal breaker for me is like uncleanliness. You know what I mean? Like not being able to match my swag. You know what I mean? It's simple.
What are you talking about? Like dressing and the way you talk and the way you walk. Swag.
I wouldn't just say talk. Well,
swag is a lot of definitions, right?
Of course, I don't want nobody to just speak ignorant all the time, but I'm saying somebody who, if we need to go to a casual event, they don't have casual clothes, or they don't even know how to dress casual. If they, if we need to go to, I'm not even gonna say that, dressing,
right?
As far as like physical appearance, you know what I mean? we started out, I'm looking a certain way. I'm always making sure I'm upkept, and then you don't want to look good. You know what I mean? You just want to look so Bama. I get turned off by that, like, very quickly.
And not only that, you're talking about the way you dress, but also the other elephant in the room, that you go somebody that's not equally yoked, and you got to take them to a function that they don't know how to talk. They got this gold and shit in their mouth, and all this, and everything is so hood, but you're going to a corporate function. So that's why you need to date somebody who's compatible to you and your situation. Don't be no corporate person trying to date a thug. Vice versa. Don't be no thug trying to date a corporate. You need to date somebody. Your compatibility with each other needs to be in. I don't have to be an 8 and an 8, but I damn sure can't be no 8 and you a 2. Now I need to be an 8 and you could be a 6.5 or a 6.
So those are deal breakers for me. It's stuff like that. You know, not being able to just keep up. Like,
dating somebody who is equally yoked. Now, we haven't checked on while you're talking. I'm gonna go over here. Okay, make sure. Okay, yeah. Just dating somebody who's equally yoked. You know, and dating, you gotta date somebody who, you know, is equally yoked. But getting back to the question of, when do you know it's time to give up? When do you know when it's time to throw in the towel to this relationship? When enough is enough?
I've been in a situation where the person loved me more than I love them. Right. And I feel like when you know that you're not in love as much as the other person is, it's time to let that go. Because
say that again. I need to process that in my mind.
It was somebody who was more in love with me, more in like with me, more infatuated with me
than you were with them.
I were with them.
Okay.
So for me, everything about this person I did not like, but they loved everything about me. So when I knew that I was more so, I felt like using the person, I had to let that go, because I'm not in it for the reason that he was in it for.
You're a good person, Britt.
You think so?
Yeah, you are. Yeah. But I will say, and this is a rule in life, and trust me, I'm going to drop some knowledge right here, all right? If y'all have not heard me drop any jewels, I'm about to drop a jewel on this podcast today. The person that loves the most has the least amount of power in a relationship. I'm going to say that again for the people who are driving down the freeway and didn't hear me say that. The person that loves the most has the least amount of power in this relationship. Mama used to always say, love who love you. Get you somebody who love you more than you love them. And I promise you, they're going to do all they possibly can to keep that relationship going.
Yep.
Do you believe that, Britt?
I do.
Yeah, love who love you. You understand what I'm saying? Don't get nobody that don't love you. The person that loves the most have the least amount of power in that relationship.
Okay, so listen, Crystal Phillips said, no, we're not giving up too easy. We just not putting up with a whole lot of mess, as we should. Divorce is there for a reason. Christina Sanders said, you never know what you will allow until you are in that situation.
Thank you, Christina.
Monica Aston says, can men forgive women for the same things they do, including infidelity?
Yes, they can, Monica.
No. Marcella says, broken trust is the deal breaker for me, which would be, I guess, anything that, like, I think
I know Marcella Town Weston. See if give me the thumbs up, Marcella. If you know our who I know. I don't want to say his name, but I have a friend that I think you might know. But go ahead.
Crystal Phillips said infidelity is in all relationships, but how long must someone take before they are done? Tamala McElroy said, boom.
Yeah. Tam, what are you saying boom to? And Crystal, I said a repetitive cheating is a reason why, but I'm saying, Crystal, you know that cheating it finds its way in almost every relationship.
So Yolanda McDaniel is basically piggybacking off of what I said. When you no longer care, when you feel absolutely nothing for your mate, it's time to roll out. Okay. And that's exactly what I felt. I felt like he's given me so much. I'm talking about he's such a good man.
So you were looking at from his standpoint. You were not giving like what he was giving.
Yes, he was just such a good man.
Out of pity, basically. You felt sorry for him. And you just said, I got to quit him because he's putting in more than I'm putting in. And you know that you didn't love him like he loved you.
We talked about it. Okay. I was honest with him.
And you felt like you could never get that. You never get to a place that you could reciprocate that love.
And this is the thing about me. When I say I don't give up, I mean on all levels. I said, hey, let's work out together. Hey, let's go find you some more clothes. You know what I mean? Things that are more hip.
Physical. So it was a physical.
It was physical.
There's a reason why you could not get into him.
It was physical. It was definitely physical.
Okay.
And I tried.
The heart wants what the heart wants.
And I mean, face wise, he was a really handsome person, but physically, like body wise, and I tried to fix it. I'm like, well, we can try to work on it, but he didn't want to work on it.
He just felt like once you said that there was no.
Well, he tried, but it wasn't a good try.
What is Tam saying? Boom, I can't see
Tamla
that.
McElroy said, I'm saying boom to the person that loves the most is the most disenfranchised.
Tam got them big words.
She
Tam,
gets on my nerves with that. Like, listen, and I told Tam, because she talks to us all the time, I said, Tam, start sending me words that I need to learn. Don't put that stuff on here. I've already told you. I don't know what that means. So, like, disenfranchised. I guess that means, I don't know. I'm not thinking.
So I guess I said the person that loves the most has the least amount of power. So I guess the disenfranchised that loves the most, that's what she was saying, is most disenfranchised. Tam be having them big words.
Is the most disenfranchised.
Yeah. So
I'm going to learn that word.
Get you somebody who loves you, all right? Because the person that loves the most, that person is going to do everything. And I think here's the other thing,
No, get you somebody that y'all both can love
No, but this is my whole saying. I think oftentimes that change in a relationship. Mm-hmm. I found times in a relationship where that other person was working harder to keep it and I wasn't.
Yeah.
I flip-flopped it, and then at some point in time, I was working harder than that other person.
And you know what that is? Once it start to flip-flop, either you or her, like, you know what? When I was acting right, he or she wasn't acting right. Now I got to treat his ass like this or treat her like this, and they gonna act right.
That might be true.
So now it's building up that toxic shit.
So here's the deal. Here's the deal.
Because I've done that.
That's why it should never be one person loving the most all the time. Because in my past relationship, it flip-flopped. Like, it was at some point in time, she was doing more, than I was. That's why I don't believe in a 50-50 love. That song, 50-50 love, there is no 50-50 love. It's always going to be one is pulling, one is tugging, and vice versa. One is always going to be doing more work in this relationship than others. What you hope is that at some point in time, it flips. You don't want one person to be doing, 60, you doing 40 all the time, because that person is going to be tired. But what you want it to do is flip.
Do you think that if both people start coming into the relationship differently, because I feel like we all come into every relationship about the same way. It's always, hey, I met her somewhere, I met him somewhere, we getting to know each other, we date, we have sex, and now we starting this relationship. I think if both people come in with the same mindset that we're here to make it to the end, I think it'll be different. The outcome will be different. But I think a lot of us move so fast. And as soon as we have sex, literally, we think we together. We move like we together. You know what I'm saying? It's like... So
that's not your point? So when you have sex with somebody, y'all don't go together then?
I'm saying for me too. I said we. Like, yes, I feel like we all move too fast, and we're not talking about what is the goal here. What are we trying to do here? That's not the conversation.
I think if you don't sit down and establish some ground rules, establish what we're doing, talk about, have those uncomfortable conversations, you're going to be misusing from, you're going to be misleading from the beginning.
Because you don't know the person.
Conversation
you don't know what they really want, what their morals or values is, you don't even know if they value marriage. You know what I mean? You may come in like assuming like this is a good woman. You know what I mean? I know she can be a good wife. But in the back of her head, she just wants your money. You know what I'm saying? She don't want marriage. But if you ask that, if you got to know her for real and really dated her for 6 months to a year, you will see, hold on, she ain't wifey material like I thought. Because when I first got with her, she was doing this, but 6 months down the line, this ain't what it is. I think we're not dating long enough at all.
And we're not having great, conversation that leads to a successful relationship.
Yep.
We're not establishing where we're going, how we're getting there.
We're not exploring each other's morals. We're not really digging deep into how we truly think and maneuver through life. We're not exploring. We're just taking a word for it.
Just being compatible in some areas, and we're just hoping and trusting that we'll be compatible in those other areas.
Falling in love with potential. It's the potential of who they can be. They moving like somebody that's a millionaire, but they ain't there yet. They're not there. They want it, but they're not. They're not even doing what they have to do to get there. They're just telling me this. You know what I mean?
And do you also agree that when you meet somebody, most oftentimes that women date hoping that they can change the man versus men date hoping that that woman will not change.
Yes.
Women
that's
date.
a good one. Yeah.
Women dating hoping that they can change that man, but a man date hoping that that woman will not change.
We just unpack the baggage there. Because that's definitely what I do. I'm like, even if he come in with just a little bit of what I like, I'm like, but he got the potential to be something. I'm going to help him get there.
Right.
Then he, like you said, he probably fell in love with who I truly, or who he thought I was.
Yes.
But in the back of my head, I'm doing what I got to do to get this nigga because I'm thinking that he can be a great man.
Yeah. And
The whole
sexually,
time we both coming in fraudulently.
and from a man or woman, we a lot of times we dating like, damn, she's perfect. And then when they get married, all the stuff that they were doing to get us, they stop cooking, they stop screwing, they stop doing all these things. The dog is tripping over there for real. They doing all of the things that they know that they don't do. They stop doing the things that made us like them and make them fall in love. They stop doing all those things, cooking, cleaning, all those things, having sex, all those things. So that's another gem that we just dropped.
Yep, that's another gem.
Do we want to talk about sponsors? Do you want to go something else? Or you want me to talk about these sponsors right quick?
Okay, but before we go, I mean not go. Sorry, y'all. Not before we go. Before we move on, I want everybody, if however many women in here right now, I need y'all to put the thumbs up in the comments. Do me a favor right quick because I want to show y'all something.
Okay.
So I need to see how many women in here first before I go there. So let me know how many women in here, please. Come on, ladies. If you in here, put them thumbs up so I can see.
And what you about to ask a question? Okay, you want me to go ahead and read this while you're doing that? Okay, all right. So our sponsors, okay. Friday, February 22nd, the Ratliff Media Promotion Group is sponsoring March Madness Final Four. Now, if you are grown, you want to party with grown people, I got a place for you to go, all right? It's called the March Madness Final Four. Okay, it's live music from Keith Savage, Deshaun Harris, Haywood King, and BJ Soul. It's at Infusion Lounge, all right? 8 p.m. doors open. The show starts at 9 o'clock. If you want tickets, all right, online tickets, March Madness, 4.eventbrite.com. Again, March Madness, 4.eventbrite.com, or table reservations at 501-900-4833, 501-900-4833. DJ Worm is on the ones and twos. Now, that's our sponsor as well, but we've got a presenting sponsor with attorney Jeremy Bland. If you have a wreck
and you need a check,
you know who to call.
Jeremy Bland, 501-912-0050.
And I talked about it at the beginning of the podcast, how he's putting his money right here in our community. He is financially backing this podcast to get some of this dope equipment that we have. And oftentimes we go to them other people. I ain't gonna talk about them because I got some friends who just like them, but I don't know none of them attorneys. They ain't answering none of my calls when I call. When I call the phone, I just had a situation just Thursday.
And he ain't gonna lead you wrong, y'all. Know we be wanting that urban type of advice. We need the money.
And I just had a situation just happened Thursday. This is a case in point where Jeremy called this situation and got a good response. So call Jeremy Bland. Let me give you his number, 501-912-0051. I promise
it's
you.
pinned in the comments, you guys.
Yeah, I promise you. He is a dope attorney that has gotten millions of dollars for his clients. All right. Don't feel like you got to go to the white people to get it. All right, you can get it right here.
So is this all the ladies that we have in here? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Some of these people
6.
are watching. Some of these people don't even want you to know they in there.
Come on now, 6 comments. Are you serious?
I would
thumbs
guess that a lot of people just want. Let me just tell you, our listenership is made up probably of 90 to 95% of women. Mm-hmm. So I could assume that some people are watching this and had not clicked on this live. Some people are in here and don't want to put their thumbs up. Mm-hmm. I would guarantee that it's heavy more to women. So you, if
okay,
you
so
want to ask your question.
let me go ahead and read Marcella Town Winston's comment. She said, it's because you get too emotionally involved, giving yourself up fast, and you lose what it takes to truly build a real intimacy. Sex is great, but not what keeps you whole.
Thank you, Marcella. I love that comment. I really do.
Okay, so let me read. Okay, Monica says, everybody's time to go is not the same. Once you have time invested, you know when a person is trying to change. You also know when you have a disrespectful narcissist that will keep on doing what he has always gotten away with. So with that said, it takes a mature It takes a mature person to realize what he has and what he will lose. Unfortunately, it takes some men longer to mature.
I agree with that, Monica. I do.
I agree. Okay, so you guys, I made a comment, and this is for the men too, but mostly for the women right now because I'm trying to get all the women involved in this right now. I made a post. I'm going to remake the post, and I'm going to share it. If you guys are willing to participate in something that we can't really just put out right now, I want you guys to go to my post. I'm going to be looking for the post. It's going to ask you to put your age, and it's going to ask you to drop a picture in the comment. I want you girls to drop a picture in the comment.
So let me ask you, let me clarify. So you're not going to tell what we're going to ask them to do.
Not yet.
But you want people to put in there if they're willing to participate when we're not going to tell them what we're going to do?
Well, I did say you have to be single. I prefer for you to be single.
Okay.
I prefer for you to be a woman, and I prefer for you to be willing to participate. I also want you to not be camera shy. If you aren't camera shy, if you are willing to
be on
camera and participate, like I said, you have to be single and you have to be a woman. The age group is long as you're over the age of 18. Okay,
y'all hear that?
If you put your picture inside of the comments, I will reach out to you and tell you what's going on. But I will not reach out to you on the post. I will get to you.
And Sandy, and I also want, I don't, you even told me what it is that I can remember, but I also want different cultures on there, right? Sandy, I know that I've got one of my friends that play poker with me, Sandy. She watches every week. I want some white girls on here.
Yes, we want white, black, Asian, Chinese,
different cultures.
We want Vietnamese, we want black.
But Sandy's not
everybody.
single. Sandy's married. Damn, she's married.
Oh, Sandy, you're married.
Nah, Sandy married.
Hey.
Oh, I got another young lady that watches that plays poker with us too. Tammy. Tammy is single. I'm gonna try to get Tammy.
I tell you this, it's going to be very fun. You guys are gonna have a great time. So do what we ask.
Does it involve drinking?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, ladies, y'all heard. She's looking for the single ladies that she can't tell you what it is, but you cannot be camera shy. You can't be shy. You got to be to talk in front of the camera. You got to be, So, ladies, I want different culture. I want white, black. Y'all want different cultures, not just black women.
And you don't have to be. You can be classy. You can be
old
good,
and young.
You can be young. You can be
age.
old. You can be. You know what I mean? Come in like I said. Once you come in, I will get to your inbox and I will let you know exactly what's going on.
I think Mama Pam just said something when it comes to physical. I'm not catching this up real quick, but she just said something. She just said something.
Oh,
there it is.
When it becomes physical, because that can become to the point of no return on many different levels. When it becomes physical, that can become to the point of no return on many different levels. When it becomes physical, that can become
maybe we've moved on
to
from
the
that
point
comment.
of no return. I guess she was talking about when we were talking about having sex in the beginning of the relationship and not being able to build anything. So she said when it becomes physical, that becomes to a point of no return.
Okay.
On many different levels.
Okay. So you've got what you needed on there, right? Single women, she wants you to inbox her, or did you say go back and comment to the post if you're interested in it? Oh, another thing.
So do anybody, okay, so I know like this looks like a hat. Q, mind your business. So ladies, if y'all,
so cute,
ladies, if you guys want to put on a braid, I guess like a something quick on your head, I'm finna show y'all.
You finna what?
Y'all can buy this piece. It's $50. It's $50, you guys. Listen, this is what it is. This is all it is.
Are these people sponsoring our show?
So listen.
Or do you know these people? We're getting them a free plug.
Listen, so if you got, this is my plug. I'm making these. These
are
yours?
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, okay. This yours. I'm like, we ain't giving no free commercials.
No, this is my shit.
Okay,
so it's $50. If y'all want it, y'all.
Did you put some weave on a piece of thing that you can put under? Listen, ladies, if you do that, if you do that, ladies, but I'm gonna tell you, be careful. If you do that, take your ass in the bathroom and don't get us and don't be in the club. You got that on, then get us to the house and you bald headed for real. Have some hair under this thing that she got on. You better have some damn hair. Now I understand people put that on and they got hair, but do not play with us. Do not be bald headed for real and put a whole bunch of weave hair on that and put a hat on. And
so y'all, this is what I do because I be having to find ways to be very creative. So look, if y'all want this, it's $50. I do it in all colors.
That's braids, huh?
Yeah, it's braids.
You just put the braids on there. Mm-hmm. Y'all have it. Hey, holla at Brit. If y'all want it, holla at Brit. But I will say, I'm going to say this. Ladies, have some hair under that damn thing.
I got hair.
No, I am. I know it. So ladies, don't be tricking us. Don't be putting them braids and then get you to the house and you ain't got none of under that little
He know every time
stuff.
the show end, what I'm doing, B Level. I'm taking them wigs off. I be like, shoot, I'm done. Hey, because listen, if you guys want to, you can take this to the club, anything, and it don't have to just be under this type of hat. See, some people put it on one hat. You can put it on any hat. So, yeah.
All right, y'all hit Britney up if y'all want that. It's all about helping us out. Hit us out, $50. You got it. Listen, shout out to our sponsors. The event on Friday, March 22nd, the March Madness Final Four. And shout out to attorney Jeremy Bland. Now, listen, we need 2 more sponsors. We have availability for 2 more sponsors. If you want to sponsor us, inbox myself, Brian Stewart on Facebook, inbox Brittany Arnold on Facebook. Inbox us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Inbox us and let us know. We will come out. We have custom package. We don't have cookie cutter package. We will customize something for the money that you have. It's all about bringing awareness to your brand. We will do that. Just holler at us. We need investors.
Mama said
sponsors, right?
She said that the physical. Hold on. She said
Tam got that hair show. Oh, yes. Tam, I forgot to show you. Tam, I think it's June. Tam hair show is coming June, and I didn't even tell you this, Brittany, but we're going to be involved in Tam's hair show. I think that we're going to do.
Tam,
you already knew that?
Well, she said that she was going to invite us, and I was
we're going to be working.
I know we're going to be
June 2nd. I think it's the first Sunday in June. No, I hadn't told you about this. All right.
Hell, what we doing?
Tam, put that thumbs up. We're going to probably be broadcasting live. We're going to be doing our show there. We're going to be hosting some stuff on stage.
Yeah.
Tam has not told me the name. Tam dropped the comment of the hair show on June 2nd.
I'm so excited, Tam.
Sunday. The Unpacking the Baggage podcast is going to be doing a lot of things at this big hair show that's happening. We are working the details out, but put that on your calendar. Save the date.
Tam, you ready for me to host
Sunday,
your show?
June
oh my gosh.
2nd.
June 2nd.
Tam, put the name of the hair show in our comments so we can shout it out. And I think the date is Sunday, June 2nd. It's the first Sunday in June. We will be out on location. Our show is growing. We got 1 million views. We've got 1.2 million
Don't take that
views.
one off. Yeah, 1.2.
And over 71,000 people who have listened to this podcast since its inception. Thank you. Thank you for being so loyal to us. Thank you for sometimes, I'm pretty sure that's you. I don't know if you want to, Tam, make sure that June the 2nd is the right date. I would hate to be tagging the wrong date. All right. We're looking for the location, but I think it is.
Okay. And then another thing we need to talk about, we're giving away a $50 gift card on Sunday.
Next Sunday.
So
you're going to do it when I'm not here?
Yeah.
You don't want to wait till I'm back?
Do you want to wait?
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to wait to
June 9th.
June 9th.
Yes. Thank you, Tam. See, I'm saying June 2nd. June 9th, Hair Invasion. All right. Save that date. And Yo-Yo said Tam has the best hair show. She does. She is hired. I'm going to be hosting some stuff, but we got Brittany also that's going to come, and we're going to do some stuff on the stage of the Hair Invasion, okay?
Is there any more contact information?
Not yet. I think they're working out all the details. Just save that date, June 9th, Hair Invasion. Save that date. The biggest, the best hair show. Barbers, beauticians, get in touch with Tam McElroy if you want to be involved. All right. And then last but not least, shout out to our podcast producer, Quincy Watson. All right. He's on Facebook. If you want him to produce your podcast, Q got all the stuff. All right. He's dope. He made our intro. He did all of the stuff for us. So holla at Quincy Watson on Facebook. Watson on Facebook. Or holla at, y'all know him. Him and Philly Moo been together forever. So y'all know how to get in touch with Q. Y'all know what it is. Is that all?
Marcella said, always an awesome show. Very deep and much needed. No,
Thank you, Marcella.
That.
I posted something last
Thank you,
week.
Auntie Vib. She said, congratulations.
That talked about us unpacking our baggage. We're going to have a segment on this podcast where you could bring your significant other on here and unpack your
Let's talk
baggage.
about that.
Go ahead.
So what we are doing is making sure that we are the first ones to allow our exes to unpack our shit. Okay, so we don't want to start letting people come on and unpack their shit, and y'all be like, "Well, hell, y'all ain't done. Y'all ain't done it." So after Shanetta's show, we will be allowing people to come on and unpack their baggage, either solo or with
Their partner.
And all we're asking is that if you're gonna come on the show, that you are going to be
transparent,
truthful, very transparent, and we hope that you can accept accountability. We don't want you to come on here and, you know what I'm saying, you can pop your shit, you can say what you want to say, you can lay it all out, but at the end, let's you know what I'm saying, take accountability for your wrong and whatever. But if you guys are wanting to come on the show via solo or a couple, email us at unpackingthebagagepodcast, LR, at gmail.com.
Go on, Britt.
Yeah, get in my inbox, or you can get in the Unpacking the Baggage fan page inbox, or B Level.
Please.
Add Unpacking the Baggage fan page.
I need everybody to go and like it right now. We have not said that. Unpacking the Baggage is not podcast on it. It's just Unpacking the Baggage. Please go there, because here's what we're going to do. We're getting ready to take our show and we're going to move it over to YouTube. So strategizing, you need to be able to also go to our YouTube page, Brian Stewart Sr., Brian with the Y, because eventually we're going to take this podcast off of Facebook and we're going to go 100% to YouTube. So you better go over there, start liking, start subscribing. We're going to have some things that we're doing in the upcoming week that you will not be able to comment unless you go over to YouTube. Yeah. We have not outgrown that yet, but we're going to translate and take this show over there. So get used to that YouTube page. Brian with the Y, Bryan, Stewart Sr. Go over there and subscribe.
Senior is not spelled out, it's SR.
SR.
Unpacking the Baggage is pinned in the comments, so just click on Unpacking the Baggage. It'll take you directly to the page. Like, please.
We're growing so fast. That's why we're doing all of these different things. When we started out, we had no idea that it was going to get this popular this fast. Would you agree with that statement?
Yes.
Britt?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So thank y'all for loving us. Thank y'all for listening to us. Thank y'all for criticizing us. Thank y'all for talking your shit. Thank y'all for saying that y'all slept with somebody on the marriage your first night. Thank y'all to all the bullshit y'all will hear next week.
Yeah.
Thank y'all to all of it, because it's growth and it is where we unpack our baggage. That's the name of this show. We're going to live by it. We're die buying that. We're going to die by it. All right. Until next Sunday, 7 p.m., we'll see you later.
See ya.
Peace out.